Welcome back to the Wellness on Purpose podcast. It's your host, Marissa Lachlan, and today we are featuring Kelly O'Connor from St. Anne's Spa. Kelly works with St. Anne's Spa as a licensed esthetician and a skin nourishment ambassador for their Skin Nourishment skincare line. We are so excited to bring this episode to our podcast featuring St. Anne's because we really align with their vision and values in terms of supporting local companies, having clean, natural ingredients, and factoring in sustainability when producing their products. In this episode, we're going to talk to Kelly about the manufacturing process, where they grow their herbs, what key ingredients they use in their skincare products, and how you can make the transition from conventional skincare to a clean, natural, and safe skincare line. So without further ado, let's welcome Kelly onto the podcast. Welcome, Kelly, to our podcast. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and to educate our listeners on natural, safe, clean skincare, which we're going to dive into what those terms actually mean through this podcast. So before we jump in, how about you introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about St. Anne's.
Yes, I'm Kelly O'Connor. I've been an esthetician for, years, probably 15. Not doing so much with the actual hands-on now, but now with the product of St. Anne's product line. So I look after people who have had allergies, symptoms, need to know extensive background into products, what it carries. I sell the St. Anne's product line for them. So I train companies that are selling our product, as well as if we have a concerned guests that want to introduce our products to them, then I would be the one to help them through that. Or if they're changing products into our product line, where to start kind of thing. So it's more a little bit in depth than just, doing the facials and recommending. Our estheticians are great. They're very knowledgeable, and that's because we give them the learning tools for it.
Now, at Joanne's Place, we have the St. Anne's Skin Nourishment line, but we also have the St. Anne's food products. And that's how I first saw St. Anne's as a company. So what came first? Was it the spa and the skincare and then the food, or what order did that go in?
Yeah, St. Anne's is our number one spa. We've had the spa for over 30 years. Jim, the owner, has had it running up as a big spa for 30 years. His background was eventually starting to get into his own product line and grow the materials on property to use as much as possible for his product. He believes that what you're treating in your body, which is your biggest main organ, is your skin, we have to treat it naturally or keep it healthy. So it kind of came in the lines of our treatments and start creating the blends and what he wanted into it and what he didn't want in. We love the land that we're living on. We use our land for our products, and it goes along with the holistic side of everything that we do for St. Anne's for the body, mind, and soul. And that's how we started getting into our skincare line about 15 years ago, with the intent to have a holistic, natural, botanical line. So then that came along, the skin nourishment, and then the bakery. The bakery has become quite popular as well with our food. And again, that's because we had a lot of people with sensitivities and allergies, and we could actually make it a certified gluten-free bakery.
Yes, that's amazing. And that's how I first found out that there was more products than just the spa at St. Anne's, is because I myself am celiac. And so it was the company that came out, and I love how close you guys are to us. So where exactly are you located?
We are in Grafton, Ontario, about an hour and 20 minutes away from Toronto.
So close. I mean, from Peterborough, it's about 40-minute drive. And then obviously to Toronto, you can just hop on the 401. So
yeah,
that's amazing.
We have a lot of our products out in the Peterborough area, Toronto area.
Amazing. And do you guys do everything in-house for your skincare products and your food?
Our food is 100% in-house for our bakery, and of course the kitchen cooking at the inn. For our product, we actually have it sourced out for us. It's in Ontario. It's actually in Concord, Ontario. So our herbalist is from Cambridge area, and our chemist that puts the two products back together works together in Ontario for us. And we decide what we want in it, and we use our botanicals that we have from our property put into the product for it. So now we're starting with our apothecary, which we're doing, the mist sprays and things like that. So that's there on our property, and that's being done in-house.
Amazing. That's so great. Okay, so let's dive into talking about specifically the skin nourishment line. So, how about you tell our listeners a little bit about what natural skincare actually means? Because this term gets thrown around a lot, and some people see it as a marketing ploy, and then some people see it as not. And let's kind of decipher what that actually means for our listeners.
So yeah, we have to be careful when using the term natural. It isn't regulated, and it can be misused or be branded misled by consumers. For us, our natural skin means that we're not using harmful chemicals that are only temporarily masking the signs of an imbalanced skin and could be actually harmful long term. When we first began to create our line, we worked with a herbalist that formulated the products using not only ingredients from our property, but natural ingredients that were effective and safe.
So, for our listeners that are wondering right now if the products that they're using are safe, what are some ingredients that you would be avoiding in your skincare products?
So, things that we would stay away from in our products or in any product that you want to keep natural would be carriers that have parabens, sulfates, PEGs, and PPGs. These products can cause many issues, including dry skin, acne, clogged pores, and at worst can even cancer causing.
I see a lot of conventional products, I guess we'll call them, on the market now that say paraben free and sulfate free. It's starting to, get consumers mindful of the products that they're using. But some listeners may not be aware of what PEGs and PPGs are. Are you able to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so they're usually used in products for bubbles like shampoos, they're thickeners. For instance, when people are using our shampoo, they say it doesn't foam up. Well, that's a sulfate that's actually causing the foaming of the shampoo. So really we don't need that to have it clean. So for us, we use a different botanical, again, like a rosemary.
Are you able to give us a rundown on maybe specific ingredients that you guys use instead of those sulfates and parabens and things for that are more specific for skin types like acne, dry, sensitive, and so on?
So what we use a lot of different botanicals that would work very well with each skin type. For example, for skin with dry skin, we use maybe sandalwood. It gives an intense hydration mixed in with the rest of the base product line. For sensitive skin, it might be that we're using evening primrose seed oil. That's for sensitivity. It helps with irritation, redness. Anybody that has like a rosacea, eczema, or any inflammation in the skin. Acne and oily prone skin, we would usually try to use something that would have a white birch bark extract in it to help with the acne blemish as well as in balancing of the skin. Chicory is another one that we use to help balance out. It's also in our toners. Chicory helps balance the skin pH in the skin. So that will help even out where people are dry or oily or acne. So it can go for all three types of skin type.
So with those products and the ingredients that you're using, are they organic, cruelty-free, vegan? Because I know those are also questions that we get a lot in Joanne's Place when people are choosing which cosmetic products that they're using.
We are very careful at sourcing our ingredients. We can't claim organic as we do use extracts from our property. And while they are organic, we don't use commercial fertilizers or pesticides in our gardens to do that. We have not received our certification to make it the claim on our label that we're organic. St. Anne's products are also cruelty-free as well as vegan and also gluten-free. We took a lot of pride in developing this line and used our years of experience treating a variety of skin types and individuals' needs to come up with a product that would not only sell, but use for each and every one of our treatments.
I think that's really important to clarify because sometimes people think that that nice green USDA certified
Mhm.
organic certification on a product means that it is top notch. And that isn't
Yeah.
always the case, especially when we're looking at local small businesses, because this is
Yeah.
so important. And I think more than ever, we're at least seeing this in stores. People are becoming more educated on what that actually means. That
Yeah.
actually means that St. Anne's is taking their property, they're growing their herbs, they are using the practices that you would in a certified organic manner. But getting that certification is incredibly expensive. And a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know that. And it's not necessary, especially if you're creating a relationship with your clients that you're seeing at the spa or when you're using social media to educate people. So sometimes that isn't the best route. Finding something that's local and naturally grown is superior
Yeah.
to some certifications.
Right. Yeah. For organic, I mean, it stems right back to seeds and where that seed has actually come from. So it's very hard to detect how organic things are.
Okay, let's talk about beauty standards in terms of clean beauty products. Because this, like I said, when we use the term natural, it's kind of wishy washy. So, could you
Yeah.
kind of talk a little bit about if there are any standards around natural and clean beauty products?
So similar to the term natural or clean in a product, beauty products, unfortunately, isn't well regulated. While it doesn't prohibit a list of unsafe ingredients, it is forced. And there are some things that companies can take advantage of, like fragrance loophole, where companies don't have to disclose a chemical that composes of their fragrance. I would urge consumers, to do their research of companies making their product and their practice, not just to, looking at their labels. We find in our product we use a reputable, trustworthy supplier, and bottles and labels it for us under the EcoCert EU, which most essential oils are not under that. As disclosed earlier, we also use extracts from our own gardens that our gardeners tend and grow and harvest and process themselves. We work closely with our manufacturer to then ensure that it comes together into a safe and effective product.
Okay, so instead of St. Anne's products using fragrances, you guys are using essential oils to either add fragrance into a product, whether it is for scent or more therapeutic, correct?
That's right. That as well as from our gardens, like the botanicals in our gardens, we distill them.
Are you able to mention what people or why people would want to stay away from added fragrance in their products?
It's more of a synthetic. So it's an artificial scent. Sometimes people with, lung asthma, it seems to be a trigger point for them. So those harder, unnatural botanical smells, oils tend to, be just so synthetic that it's artificial. They're just creating it from a factory, basically.
Yes. And to dive a little bit deeper on that level. So, I'm a nutritionist and I work with a lot of people to balance their hormones. And one thing that people forget about is added fragrance and synthetic ingredients in their cosmetic products. So, this is what's really
Right.
inspired me to become a nutritionist because these aren't things that your doctor is going to tell you that are going to impact your health. They're not telling you that fragrances are going to create allergies for you in terms of maybe, stuffy sinuses or lung congestion. They're not going to tell you that.
No.
Whereas people who are taking a natural approach and want you to use clean ingredients are going to say, well, where else could you be getting these toxins in your lifestyle? And a lot of the time I see in my practice is it's the cosmetic products that women are
Yeah.
using that have such an impact on hormones. So if you're listening right now to this podcast and you're thinking, oh, like maybe that's what's causing my hormonal acne, or maybe that's what's causing my hormones to be irregular, look at your cosmetic products. That's a very good place to start.
Mhm.
So, to piggyback off the question in terms of clean beauty standards and synthetic fragrances, I want to talk about the essential oils. So, you mentioned that rather than using fragrances, you guys use essential oils for therapeutic reasons and scent reasons in your products. There is some controversy around essential oils being used topically on the skin. So, could you clarify that for our listeners?
Yes, I love essential oils. Our essential oils that we use is a mixture of a jojoba oil and then the actual essential oil. So, say if lavender, it has the jojoba oil. So these can be directly put on the skin and they absorb into the body. So again, you're not only just healing what you need to do for treatment for your skin, but I put lavender on at night to help me sleep. So they all have beneficial factors to them. So for essential oils, if you don't have to dilute them, ours you don't. So we can put them directly on the skin by themselves. So there's all different varieties out there for calming, energizing, and it's healing the body and your skin, and basically, clearing your mind and your soul as well. So.
And you guys are using essential oils directly in your skincare products as well, too, and those are safe on the face?
Yes. So we use the botanical and essential oils for them. Yeah.
Okay, so St. Anne's Skin Nourishment line, quite a variety of different products that we have at Joanne's Place with you guys, but could you tell our listeners what an ideal and proper skincare routine would look like in the morning versus the nighttime?
So usually your standard or your basic 4 steps or 3 steps for somebody who wanted to start off on a regular skincare routine would be your cleansing. That's your washing. So you wash your face with your cleanser. You would add your toner in, and your toner is your stabilizer of your pH in your skin. And then you go on to your day cream. So that would be your 3-step basic line for the morning. For me, I always recommend adding your serum treatment. So there's actually 4 steps. So you would go your cleanser, your toner, and then your serum, which is your treatment serum. So if you have your acne, your dry, or your sensitivity, that's where that serum comes in and does that treatment for you during the day. And then you would add your day cream in. And that day cream is usually a little lighter than your evening. And then from evening time, it's the same process, except that you're going to wash your face, tone. You might change your serum to do another treatment of a different type. Depends if you're fighting 2 different things, or you want to add a little hydration because you've been outside all day or out in the sun. So you would put another treatment serum in, either the same one or a different one. And then you go to a firming cream or a nighttime cream, we call it. And it's a little thicker usually for the evening. And in those 2 steps, you would actually add your eye cream every day, night and day.
Okay. So I'm going to pick your brain on some of these products specifically, and I want to start with the eye cream.
Okay.
Because this is a controversial topic, I find. Some people love eye cream. Some people think it's a waste of money, to be honest. And that's just some feedback that we've had. I personally I'm young and I still will apply eye cream every single day. So can you tell our listeners why they may need an eye cream in their daily skin regime?
So usually eye creams are based on the firming aspect, the aging processing of your skin. So they usually have particles or botanicals in the eye cream that helps with the aging lines and the fine lines. And usually it's a little thinner. Some companies go a little thicker, but it's more based for sensitivity too as well, because your skin is a little different around the eye area. So for ours, we use frankincense and helichrysum in our firming cream. And those are 2 agents that actually are for firming and for aging skin. So you want to keep your skin firm and taut. And a lot of people are finding, the eyes are where they see their creases or their lines more. And it's just another type of little hydration for the eye area separately from the whole face cream.
And your toner, you mentioned that the formulation is more universal no matter what skin type that you have. Now, does this toner contain alcohol?
So in our toner, it has chicory, thyme, and rose. So those are the 3 active ingredients for all different skin type. In there, on some of our product, it will say alcohol, but it's actually the fatty tissue of the plant that is being distilled into the bottle. So it's actually not considered an alcohol base.
So it's not drying, I guess. That's why people would avoid the
That's right.
alcohol.
Yeah, so it's very hydrating. I actually use the toner for after putting my makeup on and to seal it instead of having a setting spray. So that would be my setting spray.
Oh, awesome. So just 2 in 1.
That's right.
Good. Okay, and then for the day cream, is there a SPF component to this?
No, there's no SPF. We tend to keep that separate. And the reason is that you want to give yourself hydration and a barrier to your sunscreen.
Okay,
Because most
perfect.
sunscreens have the chemicals in it. So
It's
you
very
want to
true.
kind of keep them separate and not have them so together to make sure that you're getting your proper hydration and nutrients for your skin through your day cream or your regular cream, and then put a barrier between your skin, your sunscreen.
Now, aside from those products in terms of the morning and night routine, would you say that there's any additional rituals that can make an impact on the quality of your skin, maybe lymph drainage, specific teas or hydration, or anything that you can comment on?
Yeah, so daily routines are one thing to keep your skin healthy and glowing and maintaining elasticity. But a daily routine too, a weekly routine would be more of your exfoliants and masks that we put on. Those are actually treatments, and exfoliating would help with any buildup or bacteria, or and just in our environment, we're always out and about. We're got dust and dirt, so it does a little deeper cleansing, but also with that, plenty of water. Dehydration is one thing I'm seeing quite a bit in people. They're not drinking enough water. Their skin gets dried out, which causes the look of a wrinkle. So hydration is one major fact. Definitely lymphatic or face massages to help stimulate the blood and keeping the skin young and firm. The more circulation of the blood and it doesn't stay stale, then the more your skin is going to be youthful looking, as well as keeping it firm and healthy. Food has always been a thing for everything that we do. What you eat and comes out sometimes in your skin. So our theory here too, as well as you eat clean and healthy, you're going to have nice looking skin, healthy looking skin, as well as sometimes when you're not eating right, it gives a tiredness to the skin as well because it's being put through a lot. So food is definitely a good factor for your skin.
Yes, I'm so happy that you brought awareness to that because a lot of the time when we have a breakout, we always think we need to layer things on topically and just that's going to make everything better, which yes, it can definitely help a lot of conditions. But if we constantly are trying to purge and detox, we're going to see that in the skin, whether it's our face or the rest of our body. So if you are someone who's listening right now and you are like, okay, my skin is crazy right now, I've got a lot of acne breakouts. Yes, switching to more natural, clean cosmetics is going to help to support that, but also looking at the diet is also very, very important too.
Right.
So with our listeners right now, they're probably thinking, where do I start? There's so many avenues you can go down to looking at switching to natural products. So for those listeners, if they were going to start to make that transition away from conventional skincare to natural skincare, where would you recommend they start?
Yeah, so I always recommend with introducing any skincare line, start with your basic 3 steps. Give your cleanser, your toner, your day cream just enough time to for a couple weeks just to get your skin, getting used to the product. Then that way too, you're not introducing so much different things. And then if you are having a reaction or a breakout, then we can kind of narrow it down as to maybe what product it is until you introduce into other things during your daily routine or your nightly routine. So with any product, even if it is natural to natural, your body tends to, if you're shifting to a new product line, it will tend to react differently sometimes, like a breakout that you might not ever get. It's just meaning that it might be cleaning it out a little differently than the other product that you've had. And it is always nice to change up your products because your body gets used to something and then it doesn't do what you want it to do. So definitely easing yourself into at least the three basics. Sometimes people just don't want to spend that money right away. So then I always say, if you are going to cut something out, cut out your day cream from your other company and put in your day cream. Cleansers or washing, you can always wash your skin with water or coconut oil or whatever to start, and then introduce one at a time for the first 3 steps.
Yes, that's great. I love that you mentioned the day cream because people always think the cleanse is the first place. And it's not a bad place to start, but exactly what you said is you're cleaning your face and you're rinsing it off. It's not staying on the skin to make an impact, whether it's hydration or healing or soothing. Whereas your day creams or your oils, your serums, they're all doing a therapeutic benefit. So that would be the best place to start and make that transition away from.
Right. And right now, with our environment the way it is, we're up and down and the season changes. Again, people are wearing masks more, they're drying out a lot more. And we're finding they're not drinking as much. So that's not enough hydration. So the day cream will help boost up that hydration and get your skin back to a healthy and normal feel to it. So
amazing. Awesome. Well, to all of our listeners, if you are ready to make the switch from conventional to natural skincare products using the St. Anne's Skin Nourishment line, you can pop into Joanne's place and we would be happy to help you start to make that transition. And you can also pop onto the St. Anne's website. I was on there earlier and they've got lots of great directions in which ways to go in terms of making this switch. And we can, make this happen and get everybody on a much cleaner skincare regime, which would be great. This pretty much wraps up this episode here. So thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us today and inspiring our community to switch to a more natural skincare line. And I'm sure all of our listeners will benefit from all this information. So thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and prioritizing your wellness journey with us. You know what to do. Subscribe to our channel, share on social media that you're listening to the Wellness on Purpose podcast, and stay tuned for the next episode.